So this was a terrible idea. Hey everybody, MTG Orzo here with the worst, honest to God, worst deck I have ever put together in my entire life. So I was playing Magic last night. I was recording some games, and I realized, I really miss multiplayer. Like, I really miss playing with, 2 or 3 other guys, and just having a good time. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna record some multiplayer videos. I'm like, well, okay, what deck am I gonna do? Like, I've got some decks that are a little weaker power that shine a little more in multiplayer that would just get stomped on 1v1, and so I had a brilliant idea to make a deck that is so bad it could never play 1v1 ever. And that's this fucker, Boris Devilboon, a 5-mana 2/2 zombie wizard, uncommon from Legends. You pay 2 black and a red, tap it, put a 1/1 black and red demon token into play named Minor Demon. So if you're looking at these cards, you may be thinking, Sam, those cards are dog shit. Why are you playing them? And the answer is because this is Pauper Commander. So Pauper Commander is like regular Commander in that you can only have a uncommon creature as your commander. And so since MTG doesn't support Pauper Commander as a real format, I had to actually find a uncommon general legendary creature, which there are some, most of them are from Legends, some of them are for Kamigawa. But so yeah, the only uncommon in this deck is Boris Devilboon. Every other card is a common. So as you'll see, some of these cards are playable and some of these cards are fucking unplayable. So I'm gonna do a couple games with this, post them irregularly, depending, I don't know. There's not gonna be a schedule for these multiplayer games. But let's just go over the deck. Alright. Lands. So it's incredibly hard to color fix in common lands. Like, I can't use the fucking whatever it's called, Zendikar life lands because they're uncommon. So I can't use the refuges because fuck me. So we got Barrenmoor Cycles, Bloodfell Cave, taps for both of our colors. Lajuga Bog is good value. Command Tower is a common, fuck you. Forgotten Cave Cycles. We have basic lands, and I went out and bought the shittiest white border 8th edition arts for this deck. Rakdos Carnarium, bounce land. Rakdos Guildgate, taps for both of our colors. Swamps. That's it. Like, that's it. Those are our lands. Alright. So, well, I forgot to, okay, so this deck has no win conditions. It's bad. It has a lot of removal, and then it has this weird sort of like Sacrifice Aristocrats theme. So, hold on. So we got a lot of things that deal with sacrificing dudes that do something when they die. And we gotta make use out of our 4-mana 1/1s. So we have Bone Splinters, sacrifice a creature, destroy target creature. Carrion Feeder, sacrifice a creature, put a 1/1 counter on it. Duress, because we need ways to get rid of cards we can't deal with. Thought Picker Witch, sacrifice a creature, look at the top 2 cards of target opponent's library, then exile one of them. Visceracy, sacrifice a dude, scry 1. Burning Inquiry, each player draws 3, then discards 3. Just because I'm doing this in multiplayer, so I find a lot of cards that dealt with everybody, and that's one of them. And it's cool, it's got cool art. Faithless Looting, you know what it does. Flame Slash is removal. Lightning Bolt is similarly removal. Mana Forged Cinder is Birds of Paradise. Altar's Reap, sacrifice a dude, draw 2 cards. Instant speed, so it protects from removal. Black Cat, when it dies, target opponent discards a card at random. Bloodthorn Vampire, another aristocrat, sacrifice a creature, gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Cannibalize, really cool card from Stronghold. Choose two target creatures controlled by the same player. Exile one of those creatures and put 2 +1/+1 counters on the other. It's just sorcery speed, black exile, basically. Doomblade, we know what it does. Shred Memory. Exile up to 4 target cards from a single graveyard. Transmute 3 for a 2-cost card. So, Shred Memory can grab anything in our 2-drop slot, which is not bad. Some of our better cards are 2-drops. Skull Tap is Altar's Reap, but at sorcery speed. Tyrant's Choice. Will of the Council. Starting with you, each player votes for death or torture. If death gets more votes, each player sacrifices a creature. If torture gets more votes, or the vote is tied, each opponent loses 4 life. Dragon Fodder makes tokens. Impact Tremor. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So this is our like Goblin Bombardment Perforos like XP for this deck. Krenko's Command makes dudes. Soot Stoke Kindler. Haste. You can tap it. Target black or red creature gains haste until end of turn. Terminate. Probably the best card in the deck. And Recto Signet for fixing. 3 mana, we have Blister Grub, one of my favorite cards when I started playing. So I was like, oh man, this card's so cool. And it is cool, damn it. When it dies, it's Swamp Walk, 2/2. Whenever it dies, each opponent loses 2 life. Blood Baron, sacrifice another creature. Gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Strictly worse than Bloodthrone Vampire. Bloodfoe Connoisseur, sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Expunge, destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature with cycling. So it's terror for 1 extra, but you can cycle it. Gutless Ghoul, sacrifice a creature, you gain 2 life. Phyrexian Ghoul, sacrifice a creature, gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Phyrexian Rager, when it enters the battlefield, draw a card, lose 1 life. Good sack fodder. Read the Bones, it's another actual card. Voracious Null, sacrifice another creature, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. Devouring Swarm, another old school favorite of mine. Not old school, but old Sam playing. Like, this card came out when I started playing and I really liked it. Flying, sacrifice a creature, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Murder, worse than Doomblade. Soul Cage Fiend, when it dies, each player loses 3 life. Fires of Undeath, another of my favorite cards from when I started playing. Deals 2 damage to target creature or player with flashback. And it's got like some gothic Lolita art. I think this was a playmat at one point, and I'm not surprised. Makes a lot of sense. Card from Origin, Girapur Gearcrafter comes into play and makes dudes. Hissing Iguana, when another creature dies, you may have Hissing Iguana deal 1 damage to target player. So he's kind of like our Blood Artist in this deck. He's a little more, he's got a bigger body, and you can, it's whenever any creature dies, so that's okay. Rummaging Goblin, discard a card, draw a card. Blightning, another kind of real card. Cathari Bomber, when it deals combat damage to a player, you put 2 dudes into play, and then sacrifice it, and then you can unearth it. Vanefire Border Post is fixing. You can play this turn 1 for 1 and return a land, or you can not do that, and it enters the play tapped, and it's shitty. Alright. Agonizing Demise. As kicker, you destroy target non-black creature. If it was kicked, it deals damage equal to that creature's power to the creature's controller. So, that's cool. Cool art. Bitter Revelations. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and 2 into your graveyard. You lose 2 life. Feast or Famine. Choose one. Put a 2/2 zombie into play, or destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature. Siphon Mind. Each other player discards a card. You draw a card for each card discarded this way. More multiplayer focus. Vulturous Aven. Exploit, when it comes into play, you draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Then you get a 2/3 flyer. Befoul. Destroy target land or non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. So you'll see as we get up into the converted mana costs, a lot of our kill spells also can deal with lands that we need to. Like, this isn't a land destruction deck, but on the upper end of our curve, we can deal with lands that are going to blow us out. Cackling Fiend's picture is broken. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Dogpile deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of attacking creatures. So we can make a lot of little dudes, and we swing in, we can dogpile and basically give them, I don't know, does damage. It's a weird card. Aftershock, destroy target artifact, creature, or land, deals 3 damage to you. Singe Mind Ogre. When it enters the battlefield, target player reveals a card at random from his or her hand and loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Wrecking Ball. Destroy target creature or land. Another real card. Breath of Malfagor. Deals 5 damage to each opponent. That's what it does. Murderous Carabid. Attacks each turn of Able. 4/4 for 5. You use cycling. It's a sweet insect. Skullrend deals 2 damage to each opponent. Those players each discard 2 cards at random. So this is actually pretty good in multiplayer. Cost to count. When it dies, each player loses 4 life. Another card from when I started playing that I really enjoy. Death Rattle. Delve, destroy target non-green creature. Death Curse Ogre. When it dies, each player loses 3 life. Igneous Pouncer has a 5/1 for 6 with haste with swamp and mountain cycling. Plague Spores, destroy target non-black creature and target land that can't be regenerated. And then our X spells, Disembowel, destroy target creature with converted mana and it costs X at instant speed. And Soulburn, spend only black or red mana on X. Soulburn does X damage to target creature or player. You gain life equal to the damage dealt, but not more than the amount of black spent on X, the player's life total before Soulburn dealt damage, or the total creature's toughness. So this is quite possibly the most restrictive fireball spell in the game. So I can only gain life equal to the amount of black I spent, or the player's life total before it dealt damage, or the creature's toughness, which is really dumb. So this deck is really bad. I'm sorry you have to watch me do this, but you don't have to. You can just turn your computer off. So we're gonna play in some multiplayer games. We're gonna see how it goes down. It could go terrible. I expect it'll go terribly, but we won't get just blown out immediately because multiplayer games last a bit longer. So yeah. Fuck.